Hello guys, it's Ryan back with another video. Today I want to talk about this standing desk. So this is the Anthrodesk. This comes in at a price of $150 and it's a motorized standing and sitting desk, right? So you can kind of push the button and it'll go up and down. Now, a standing desk to me is really important because it's good for your posture and overall it just kind of improves your kind of health. So I've actually had carpal tunnel before, and then I've also had like neck pain from like playing video games too much basically, which is really bad. And that's when I learned about kind of ergonomics and how important that is to like a standing desk will definitely let you reach that height. What happened to me was that I was playing on a coffee table that was way too low and my wrist was doing this while I was playing League of Legends a long time ago. And because I played that like that for a very long time, I actually got carpal tunnel and I wasn't able to play games for like over like 2 years basically. And since then, I really haven't played League of Legends because my hand just like instantly starts flaring up when I click too much. So that's one thing I learned. So now I play games like Valorant, which don't require as much clicking per second. But anyways, so that's one reason why the posture and kind of the table height matters a lot, right? The second thing I got a lot was when you're playing on like a laptop to game. I used to game on a laptop a lot before I went to a PC. And when your laptop height is kind of lower, then you kind of have to look down a lot, which is pretty normal because of the laptop. But when you do that for long periods of time, your neck hurts because you're always looking down. And one of the ways that you could actually kind of change your positioning is using a standing desk as well. And that can kind of alleviate and relax your body a little bit and kind of get you out of that same position all the time. But of course, getting like an actual proper monitor definitely helps you in the long run. The other ways that you can also use a standing desk, like for me, I'm actually excited to use this desk later to do videos as well because I can get different height, different angles for my camera, and overall it can actually make my workflow a little easier too. So that's kind of one thing I'm looking forward to, using this as like a YouTube table and kind of like a mini workstation as well. So this desk is actually $150, right? So that's actually cheaper than a lot of other standing desks that you can get. Other ones range from like $300 that I saw like on Kia, and like $500 sometimes as well. So this is definitely on the kind of budget end of standing desk. However, you know, I built this whole thing up and I can tell you right now that it doesn't really shake that much. Like I had to hit it really hard to shake. My actual standard IKEA desk like shakes like crazy when I barely tap it. This is actually really sturdy because it has these big metal legs that kind of keep it down, that weigh it down. I have no problems with the kind of up and down motion that it has. And overall, the desk is really works as expected, right? So I don't have any major complaints, but we can kind of go through kind of the build and, you know, take a closer look at it. I also want to mention that this tabletop that came with, you have to buy it separately, right? So you can kind of choose different tabletops. I'll link below for the one I got it. I think it was called like a Mizo, that I bought it for like about $60 for the tabletop. So if the bottom is 150 plus 60, you're looking at like $210 in total, plus tax and all that stuff. But the desks, you can pick from a variety of them, different sizes, and you basically, it doesn't really matter what desk you get because you can just drill the holes into it, and so you can kind of pick from whatever you want. You don't have to buy it from the iMizo, I guess. So taking a closer look at this desk, there's definitely a little scratch there that came with my table, so that was unfortunate, but I mean, I guess I could just hide it on the other side when I kind of put it against the wall. Over here is the button, and the button's kind of plugged in. So you can see that the button's kind of plugged into this, which is plugged into this as well, that goes all the way to this motor. And then eventually you kind of plug this into the wall over here. So I have an adapter down there. So really use just one plug against the wall and then you're able to kind of go. And it's pretty sturdy. So you have these two big metal legs that kind of keep you in place. It's actually really heavy. And I mean, I was able to make it by myself, but it's definitely pretty heavy. So, I mean, two people would probably be easier. Use power drill would be very helpful. And I think it might be necessary because you need to drill the holes into the desk. So you definitely should use a power drill. And then using that, you can also kind of screw in your screws as well. I think it just makes everything a lot easier to put it together. And yeah, I mean, building this wasn't too hard, honestly. So yeah. All right, so this is the desk at its lowest height. So I'm gonna show you guys how tall it goes because it gets pretty tall, honestly. So I'm 5'10", and this is how tall it gets. Like this is like really tall. Like I would never need it at this height. So yeah, it's kind of nice to see how big the range is. So I think the table at the lowest level is pretty good for gaming. So right here, you can raise your chair up if you want it to be a little higher, but you definitely don't want your elbow to be kind of too low, like like down here. Then you're gonna do that carpal tunnel stuff, right? If it was too low, and then too high, obviously, is not good if you're doing this either, right? So this is a pretty good spot to be like good, proper like sitting position, in my opinion. So I like this kind of height, which is the lowest position on this desk. Yeah, so my conclusion is simply if you are looking for a standing desk that won't break the bank, then I think this is a good option. At a price of about $200 total, I think you can't really get much cheaper than this for a nice standing desk. So yeah, I will leave links in the description below. And as always, please like and subscribe down below. Helps my videos out. And of course, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.